Debbie sabotaged Colt and Jess's relationship, and she even was happy about it. Last night, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After was on last night, and so much stuff happened that I will talk about in a couple of minutes. But first, we need to talk about what in the heck, what in God's name happened with Debbie last night. Not only did she 100% sabotage Colt and Jess's relationship, she openly admitted it, and she was even smiling. Okay, so this is what happened on last night's episode. Debbie, clearly she can't stand Jess. When she got to her new hotel room, she immediately FaceTimed Vanessa. Yes, the Vanessa that Colt, I think, is now dating in present day. Also, the same Vanessa that Jess clearly hates, and the same Vanessa that Colt said that he stopped talking to. Okay, well, that is also the same Vanessa that is watching Colt and Debbie's cats. So she was FaceTiming her. A few minutes later, Jess and Colt walked into the hotel room. They were looking all spiffy. They were all happy, all excited. Jess was all positive and excited, and then Debbie dropped the news that she just FaceTimed Vanessa. The second she said that name, Vanessa, came out of her mouth, I looked over at Jess and you could just see her jaw dropped to the floor, and it looked so genuine, so real. It wasn't fake. Like, it was a real reaction, like, oh my God, did you just say that Vanessa is watching your cats? Then of course Jess freaks out. She starts going after Colt, kind of screaming at Debbie too, and Debbie interferes, kind of trying to stand up for Colt, kind of. And she was just saying, you know, hey, she's just watching my cats. But you could totally see that Debbie was doing all of this on purpose. I personally didn't know if Debbie was this big of an evil genius until the producers of 90 Day Fiance asked Debbie in a one-on-one interview, did you know that Jess and Vanessa have their issues? And Debbie smirked and smiled and was so happy. So clearly, yes, she knew that Jess doesn't like Vanessa, and she did the whole thing on purpose, 100% to sabotage Colt's relationship. And she even said that she is totally okay sabotaging and doing anything she has to do for Colt not to be with Jess, because in her eyes, they are that bad of a couple. Now, unfortunately, we did not get to see what actually goes down after. We got to see a preview though, and in the preview, Jess walks outside. Somehow, one way or another, she gets Vanessa's phone number. She calls her or texts her or whatever, and then she asks her, were you actually talking to Colt? Vanessa said, yes, we are talking, and then that was it. She goes back into her hotel room, which she is sharing with Colt. She takes off both of her shoes, and she starts throwing them at Colt. And that is the infamous scene that we have all seen at the beginning of the season where Jess, flips out on Colt. So I don't know what happens after that. I can only imagine that is Jess's last straw. Maybe she leaves. I don't know if she goes back to see her family or what she does, but I can tell you guys one thing, I am excited. And I guess we have to thank Debbie for this insane drama. Now, I want to hear from you guys though. Do you think Debbie crossed a line? Me, obviously, you already know. Yeah, I think she did. It is none of her business if Colt isn't in her house. Now, if he is still living with her, then it is technically somewhat of her business, his relationship, because that would get brought into their house. But if he wasn't living with his mom, it is 100% like none of her freaking business. But that is just me. I am a boy. I am a son. Maybe I have a different opinion. So all of the moms and everyone else out there, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if that wasn't enough drama for you guys, we also got to see Angela and Michael. And yes, we finally got the big news from Angela on how she is doing her health. What is going on? Because remember, she had to go see her doctor about some very, very, very serious health stuff. Well, shockingly, she got her labs back and she is incredibly healthy. Now, I don't know if I want to say incredibly, but the doctor did say, you are healthy, you're this, you're that, like stuff that you wouldn't even think of. She was going down the list and it was really good. Now, if you look at Angela, just what she eats and what she's always smoking cigarettes and eating just what appears to be junk like McDonald's, okay, you wouldn't think she is the healthiest person. Not only that, but she also has like the highest stress level because she is always freaking out. So you could only assume that she would be incredibly unhealthy, but surprisingly, she appears to be really healthy, which is great. But the doctor did say, because you are older, you're in your mid-50s, you really should not be having a baby. And I would have just thought that Michael would totally understand. Now, Michael did understand, but he was still saying there might be, a possibility that I might need to have a kid with another woman because it is his life dream or whatever to have a kid. And for me, in my culture, not cool. That is not cool. That does not show that you love someone unconditionally. Clearly, Angela, she is in a similar similar culture as me, where she just wants someone to just love her and not her and another woman. So I get where Angela's coming from. Angela was so upset when Michael said that, and I understand. But Michael, he's from a different culture. Supposedly where he's from, you can marry, many women. So I kind of get it, I guess. But also, Michael, if you're planning on coming to America, you should probably get more used to the American ways. And here, if you marry multiple women, that is polygamy, which is not legal unless you're Cody Brown. And Tanya and Sinjin made it to South Africa, and I think we're going to see a lot of drama with them. We have never met Sinjin's family. They're very similar to him. Go with the flow, they're cool, they're chill, but they have their reservations about him and Tanya. And the more they describe Sinjin, the more I'm kind of like, geez, I don't blame them, because they were describing Sinjin as a go with the flow. He was never in a very serious relationship, kind of do his own thing, and now he's with Tanya and she's forcing him to do this and that, and she's kind of trying to change him, which that is exactly what I feel like Tanya is doing. I do think that Sinjin loves Tanya, but I think she is really trying to mold him in her own little way. So of course, Sinjin's mom and sister were kind of concerned, but they made it to South Africa, and you can already tell there was going to be so much drama and fighting because Tanya is still upset about Sinjin's drinking. The guy drinks way too much. I feel like that is just something that you should kind of talk about before you get married, because my take, I'm not a big drinker. I don't drink much, and that is why I am not going to go marry someone like Sinjin, who clearly has a problem. So unless he wants to change, I don't think he wants to at all. There's just going to be bickering and bickering and bickering. I don't know what is going to happen. I have seen some previews of Tanya and Sinjin in South Africa, and it looks insane. Then we saw Kalani and Asuelu, the hilarious Asuelu, because after last night, it was pretty much just an exact episode and a good description of how Asuelu is. Now, if you don't remember, Kalani and Asuelu have agreed to go see Asuelu's mom and I think two of his half-sisters in Washington. Okay, that is fantastic. And honestly, I think that 90 Day Fiance is just paying for the trip, because now Kalani's sister is coming, and Kalani, she always talks about how they don't have any money, so obviously I can only assume 90 Day Fiance is paying for the trip. But anyway, before they go to see his mom and his two sisters, he wants to bring them some gifts. Now, FYI, Asuelu's mom did ask for money. She blatantly said that she needs him to give her some money. I think she might have asked for around $1,000. They are middle-class people. Okay, they're not just gonna go, start throwing off $1,000 for just no good reason. So obviously Kalani was concerned, like, I'm not going to give your mom $1,000 just for nothing. I'm not going to do that. You only make about $1,000 a month, she said about Asuelu, so we cannot afford to do that. And my take, I agree with her, but Asuelu was really upset. He wants to give his family something, so they ended up going to a Samoan store and they bought them a bunch of knickknacks and gifts. I don't really know why they were buying them shirts and crap. Okay, why would they want shirts? Either way, they were buying them a bunch of crap, and it ended up being like $200. They go up to the cash register. Of course, this is all for Asuelu's family, so why on earth should Kalani pay for it? But they go up, and Asuelu looks at his pockets, and he has no cash on him. He has no money. And if the guy is making $1,000 a month, he just spent $200 on knickknacks and shirts and whatnot for his family. Okay, that is 20% of his monthly income he just spent on his family on crap that they are probably never going to ever even use or wear. But that is still not enough for the stuck up Asuelu, because he also says we still need to give them some money. Of course, they cannot afford to give them $1,000, so Kalani says we can give your mom $50. I get it, they're going from 1,000 to way up here to now down to 50, which is pretty low, but still, it's a good amount of money. $50, it's a gift, here you go. They should just be happy. But then Asuelu, he was upset, going back and forth. They finally agreed on giving them $100. So they make it to the airport, a little bit of bickering, a little bit of the babies crying. They get to Washington, they finally get there. They wanted to go see, his mom and the two sisters, but it was night. It looked really dark. I don't know if it was like 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock. I don't know what time it was, but it did look dark. The babies were tired, and Kalani said, we need to go home, go to sleep. We've been traveling for like 14 hours. We'll see them tomorrow. Of course, Asuelu was not happy. And the icing on the cake, though, is they finally do go and see his his mom and the two sisters in the preview for the next episode, and right away, boom, Asuelu's mom just says, "Where's my money? I need the $1,000. And Asuelu was like, "We don't have it, this is all we got." And even Kalani was like, "Why would we have to give you $1,000? Now, maybe I am just rude and inconsiderate, but once again, my take, I'm with Kalani. Why on earth would she have to give them that much money? I don't know, maybe, his mom can't work because she only has a green card. Maybe, I don't really know what's going on, but I am watching this just thinking, she is so rude. So we have some very good drama to see with Kalani and Asuelu coming up. Put in the comments below what you guys think. Like I said, I'm on the fence, but I am definitely team Kalani on this one because Asuelu, man, you just either need to start making more money and then giving your mom some of that money or stop complaining. And we did get to see Larissa and Eric, and I should have mentioned them earlier after I mentioned Colt and Jess and Debbie, but I forgot, so sorry. But yeah, we got to see Larissa and Eric. Remember in the last episode, Larissa stole Eric's phone and she was reading through some of his messages with a different woman, and in those messages, Eric was really bashing her. She ended up calling this woman. The woman said everything that Eric said. Clearly, it was very explicit, very wrong, very hurtful stuff, and Larissa was extremely upset. Well, in last night's episode, we got to see Larissa confront Eric. It was okay. It was a screaming match. They were going back and forth. I don't like Eric. I don't really love Larissa. I think Larissa's kind of funny, but she was asking for it. She never should snoop in someone's phone. That is a big no-no for me, so I get why Eric was mad, and I understand why Larissa's mad, because they were really hurtful words, but she shouldn't have been snooping. But they got into a huge, gigantic fight, and it finally just came down to it where Larissa called her friend Carmen, and she said, "I need to go see you." She ended up Ubering over to her friend Carmen's place, who is the same friend that just not that long ago kicked Larissa out for dating and getting back together with Eric. So Carmen was just sitting there saying, "I told you so," and then just like that, Carmen gets a knock on her door, and I don't know who it is. They ended their little segment, so we have to wait until next week to see who knocks on Carmen's door, but I can almost guarantee you guys that it is Eric, and it's probably Eric there going to apologize for the words that he said, if I had to guess. Because I am like 99% positive that Eric and Larissa are still together in present day, so obviously they didn't break up over that fight. I don't know how they made up for it. I can only imagine that Eric kind of just stood up and apologized because Larissa really wanted him to apologize. And then lastly, I think, unless I'm forgetting someone, but I think this is the last couple, that is Elizabeth Andre, and now you can throw in Chuck and Charlie, Elizabeth's brother and dad. I don't even know what to even say. Honestly, if you guys want my honest truth on these people, I'll give it to you straight right now. And yes, I have heard of these rumors about her dad and the brother and this real estate business. I am clearly way too, incompetent to have any idea what they are even doing. I have read so many articles about her father and brother's business, and I still don't get it. I don't understand how he can keep buying houses if they are going into foreclosure, because wouldn't that kill the guy's credit? So I don't even know what on earth he is doing. It sounds like he has some bad business practices, and I don't have enough info at all, or even understand it nearly enough to even do a whole single video on it, because I don't understand how he keeps buying houses and putting them into foreclosure. Wouldn't the banks eventually just say you can't keep doing this because it would screw up your credit? So I don't understand that. But on last night's episode with the four of them, we got to see just a bunch of annoying crap. Pretty much all that happened was Elizabeth's brother was really pushing Andre's buttons. He was pushing all of his buttons, and of course Andre, who appears to be this alpha male, strong, high temper guy, was really upset. He wasn't happy. He was going back and forth with them, and at the end of the episode, they were starting to kind of get a little physical. But I think the whole thing is fake. I don't want to use the word fake. I don't think it is a fake plot, but I do think that they do amp it up for the drama to stay on this show. They don't have jobs. I don't know what on earth Elizabeth even claims to do. I know it's something revolving her dad's business. She does some stuff with her dad. Okay, we all know Andre, he doesn't have a job. That is the main topic of this show. And the brother and the dad actually was relatively quiet. He was kind of pitching in here and there, but he seems to kind of be an older guy, just kind of there, nothing much. But the brother, he was very vocal. He was starting to kind of get upset, and I think it was BS. I think it was artificial drama just for the show, and just to basically keep them on the show. So they were fighting, they were bickering, it was annoying, and that is pretty much all I think. I think it was completely fake, and if it's not fake, that would be very surprising. The only questions that Elizabeth's brother kept asking was about Andre's past. Every little thing. Why did he go to Ireland? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? I mean, dude, who even cares? If it is real at this point, who cares? They are legally married in the US. What are you gonna do, break them up? I mean, why do you even care? So if I was him, I would just shut up and sit there. But also if I was Andre, I would just answer the guy's questions, because clearly, if it is real, the guy has some questions and some things he wants to know about your past. Why were you in Ireland? What were you doing for work? How did you know every little thing? And just sit down and explain it to the guy, and that would end all of this drama. But I don't even think it's real. I think this drama is artificial. I think it is just fake to keep their little segment entertaining, to keep them on the show. But I have no proof behind that. That is just my take. That is just what I'm thinking, and I really do think that, because on social media, Elizabeth and Andre, they are some perfectly happy couple, but on the show, they're always fighting, always dramatic, so it doesn't add up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys, and also make sure to comment below on Debbie, Colt, and Jess what you guys think of this drama. And to be honest, guys, I just cannot wait for this drama with those three to be done. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for many more videos.